Now we'll work on cleaning up the F-curves for our front left limb. We'll turn the camera over to the left side now and show our curves and select the control for our front left limb. With that selected, we'll also bring back our graph editor and begin. So starting with our Y. And again, if you wanted to, you can change the color of this F-curve to your liking, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it as is. Now, as we scrub through, going to frame 3, let's see if we actually need this key. If we go ahead and get a better view of our workspace and delete the key, and notice it does change the animation a little bit. I think what we can do here is just leave the key on frame 3. Let's go ahead and undo, hitting Z, and just fix the flow of our F-curve. Great. Now, as we continue, let's see if it's the same case for this key on frame 5. We'll select it and delete it. Okay, nothing major has occurred, so we can actually leave it as is and move on. Now, as we get to the key on frame 7, let's see if we could get rid of that. Alright, that's looking pretty good still. And what I also think we could do is actually get rid of this region here, because notice how it's gone from 7 to going down in the valley, going right back up in the hill, and then coming back down, and that's going to lead to an unattractive looking motion instead of a nice arc. So what we can do is just select the rest of these 3 keys going down from frame 8 to 10. Let's see what happens if we delete them. Okay, and fix the tangency here on 11. How's that going to look as we scrub back and forth? Okay, notice the animation still looks nice. Okay, and if we hit play, we can even see that. Great. So we didn't even need those keys. Excellent. It's wonderful to clean up as many keys as that. Okay, because it keeps again everything flowing nice. Let's go ahead and select the key on frame 12 and just fix the flow here of the tangency. Awesome. So from there, we'll go to our Translate Z, frame up our F-curve, and work on it starting from frame 1 and 13. Our first poses. We'll select the right half, focus on one side, and middle mouse button, click and drag down. Excellent. So now we get a better flow there. We don't really want to shift this pose at all because this is a correct pose, so we'll leave it as is and move on. Let's see about this key on frame 5. Can we get rid of it? Let's see. We'll select it, delete, and nothing major happens, so that's fine. And then what we could also do is take the key on frame 6, select the left half this time, and middle mouse button, click and drag down to go right back to that pose. Excellent. So we can see the benefits of using show buffer curves. It's a really helpful tool. Now as we continue, let's see if we even need these keys on frames 7 and 8. What happens if we delete them? Okay, nothing major. And of course we could select the tangency on frame 9 and bring that down to get that pose back that what we had on frame 8. Great, things are looking better, smoother. Okay, now as we get to frame 9 or 10 and 11, I think we could actually keep these keys here, because notice, for example, if we go ahead and get rid of this key on frame 10, delete, notice how our leg is going to be bent there. So in order to preserve our position, we'll just undo that and go right back to what we once had. Then we'll even fix the flow here, bringing up that right half. Awesome. And now as we get to frame 12, again, we could also fix our tangency here. And again, it's just a 1 frame difference, but we still want to get into the habit of cleaning up our F-curves. So that's why we're going through the process. We don't want to have anything messy in our editor. Wonderful. So now that that's done, let's go to our Rotate X, spend some time with this, cleaning it up. Starting right there with the key on frame 3. We'll go back to 1 and 13 later. Let's see if we even need this pose on frame 3. Okay, nothing major has occurred, just a little shift, so that's fine. Then we can adjust our tangency on frame 5. Let me bring that down a bit. Okay, still getting some nice arcs, some nice movement. Great, and we'll go ahead and check out a way we can test out the arcs, the flow of our arcs here shortly. Okay, in a few lessons to come. So now, as we move on in our animation, cleaning up certain things, let's see if we even need these keys on frames 7 and 8. So we'll go ahead and select them, delete them, And okay, no. Okay, that's fine. And what we could also do is just select the key on frame 9, bring up its tangency to get back to the poses that we once had, or similar poses. Great. Frame 10, I think we need this pose here. If we go ahead and select the key and delete it. Okay. Yeah, I'd say we can go ahead and leave that key on frame 10. I like the pose that it was in. We'll just fix the tangency there. And we'll get rid of this key on frame 11. Don't think it's necessary, and it sure wasn't. We barely saw any shifting there. Now as for 13 and 1, let's go ahead and select those keys. Select their right halves. Focus on one side. Bring it up. And let's see what that does as we scrub through. Okay, notice we get a nice pose on frame 3, and as we scrub through, great. Excellent. So from there, we can move on to our other attributes. The fetlock we didn't animate, nor the hoof. No movement going on there. So that'll bring us now to our front shoulder for the left limb. So let's go ahead and select that and work on that. We'll go to our Translate Y. And here what I think we could do is just fix up the curves here so we get a better blend. Excellent. That's looking nice. Then we can go to our Rotate X to finish this off. And again, just select our keys, select their tangent handles, their like sides. Focus on one side and middle mouse button click and drag up to fix the flow there. Excellent. So from now doing these things, that pretty much wraps up our left limb. Okay, and again, we will need to add some side-to-side movement, which we'll do later on once we're done cleaning up the F-curves, our current F-curves. But as far as our cleanup process now, should be looking pretty good. In the side view, let's go ahead and hide our curves and work on doing a play blast this time in this view. Here it is. Now look how much better, how much more fluid our limbs look, having cleaned them up. Okay, we can really see the importance of doing this process. We don't want to leave them as is. We want to spend that time and fine-tune our animation so it'll look that much more believable, more realistic as what we're getting here. Okay, so now that we have this, our next task is going to be to bring our focus to the pelvic limbs, and we're going to start with that back left side.